Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. I'm your host, Mitch, and with me as always are my fellow sacrifices, Nate and Lisa.
Who gave you these? Who taught you about these?
I learned it from you. I learned it from watching you.
I love the coordination.
Yeah.
I love the working together. Welcome to yet another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, where each week we take a look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, who is usually someone that is not what we would call a horror fan. This week, unfortunately, the tunnel collapsed before our guest could join us at our cabin, so we will be reviewing Cabin in the Woods this week just by our lonesomes. We don't have a full five,
You can smell the pheromones in the air right now.
Yeah.
See, the sad
You guys
thing
have a
is-
double-sided mirror in this house, right?
Yes.
And you never told me about it.
Yes. Also,
Which one, Nate?
Yeah.
But which one?
Hint, it's not the one behind the creepy photo we have in the guest.
Yeah, you do. You actually do. God. Oh, man.
Oh, man. All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about this one, so let's get right into this week's debate question.
We will see how the Lord favors you.
No, you dare not blaspheme. He will punish you. The jaws of hell will devour you. All of you. No.
All right. So one of the awesome things about this movie is even though it is rigged, there is some level of choice. And one of the main choices that the characters in this movie make is what fate will befall them. So I wanted to ask you, there's a number of references of creatures that are, very similar to, ones you should know, but are kind of different, little small tweaks. My question is, what do you think, or which creature do you think you would be better against? Like you would fare better against? And I'll read you a few of the ones that you can see, right? So obviously there's not only just zombies, but zombie mutant freak torture family.
Yeah. They're not the same.
Totally different.
It's the difference between an elephant and an elephant seal.
Careful who you bet on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's alien beast, which is effectively a xenomorph.
Yeah.
You have an angry molesting tree, so very much from Evil Dead. There's of course the blob.
Yeah.
There is a clown.
There's Mask Family. I remember that
Mask
one.
Family, the baby
Mask
doll
Family.
faces. A dragon bat.
Oh, yeah, dragon bat. Yeah, that chased them. Yeah, that was a good one.
A giant centipede or a giant cobra. A giant spider. Gremlins. There you can see there's a jack-o'-lantern, like Pumpkinhead. Kiko, who was the Japanese spirit.
Yep.
There was
a
Killbot.
Ghost. There was a goat. Oh, Killbot. Ooh. Is an early contender.
Now, some you didn't that were on the betting pool board, and some that weren't. So, clan members, the Kraken, of course, the Merman, mummies, mutants, werewolves. We said vampires, Sasquatch, a Wendigo, Yeti, sexy witches, regular witches, the sugar plum fairies.
Oh wow.
A unicorn.
Oh, the unicorn was good. What was the name of the guy who had saw blades in his head, is carrying like an orb?
Sawhead, I guess. Right?
Sawhead? Is that his name?
I don't know if that's his actual name.
It would be right.
Yeah, I don't know. I would assume we call it Sawhead, but man, I don't know.
There's more. I just can't think of.
Oh, there's a lot more. Oh, there's Kevin. This reads like one of those old.
Kevin?
You remember SNL? Stefan.
Yeah.
He'd always read his reviews as like, you can be killed by a killbot, clan members, a man in transparent garb, mummy, Kevin. Now, Kevin is the Sin City, is Elijah Wood.
Oh, Kevin, yeah, of course.
From Sin City, the yellow dude with massive jaundice. Yeah. Any of the who would
Wait,
you?
Kevin is the one with the long nails.
He was yellow.
No, the yellow guy is the different guy. Kevin is the guy with
Oh,
the
that's right. That's
glasses.
right. Kevin's. Sorry.
Yeah,
It's been a while since I've seen.
Yeah,
You're right.
he's
You're
real
absolutely right.
fast and
You're
he's
absolutely
like
right. Yeah.
Slashes.
But it was Elijah Wood.
Yes, it was.
So yeah, that's the question. Who would you rather go?
Wait, so
against?
North is not in this list?
Who?
Elijah Wood. Elijah Wood's child movie character North.
No, there's only a one Elijah Wood max limit.
Damn it.
Yeah.
No hobbits or anything like that. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So Lisa, who do you go against?
So I'll answer with a question. What I want to know is what in the hell do you have to pick in the cellar to get the unicorn?
It's like a
carousel,
you
snow
start
globe. I don't
playing
know.
with like a My Little Pony or something.
Yeah.
Like something.
I mean, that's what I want to know. What's a creepy backstory behind the unicorn?
You have to open the package for that crazy little girl's doll from The Office. What was that called? My horn can pierce the sky.
Oh God,
the one that Dwight
stockpiled?
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called, but you open that package and then the unicorn comes after you. That's my guess.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, so
So
would you go after the unicorn?
Yeah, because I
unicorn.
think the worst thing that he could do is convince me to go to Candy Mountain and then steal my kidneys.
Or just straight up gore you. Like
I know, I really
spear you and is faster than you.
But I think,
Horses can't climb
it
trees.
can't climb trees. It
That's
can't
positive.
open doors.
They can bust through the door. A Kool-Aid Man.
It can run really fast and pierce things. But I think I could do it. I think if I could get on the roof,
people have killed horses a lot.
Yeah,
it's just like a better horse. Okay, I get that.
And there's only, I'm presuming, there's only one, and it's not like a herd of unicorns.
Ooh, that's true. We
then
only
I'd be
see one.
screwed.
What is a unicorn herd called? Because like a crow is like a murder, right? And there's like
It's just a herd, isn't it? Because what's a herd of? What's a bunch of horses? Got you there.
I don't know.
I'm assuming it's whatever the same it is for horses.
I feel like I should know this.
I feel like I should.
It's not a herd because that's
like cattle. Yeah. It's like
a stable.
A stable
of horses. Yeah,
that's the place that they get.
I feel like that's correct.
It's like a horse hotel. It's not like what they're called. I don't know. Yeah, unicorn. That's a good one.
Yeah, so that's what I would pick.
Better than like the ghost that can like materialize and shit. I mean, yeah, like it's a lot easier than that.
A stable is if it's all under one owner. That doesn't necessarily mean it's
Technically, they're owned by a corporation. So I mean, if you want to really get into it, technically they'd be right.
It's called a team.
Oh, that makes sense.
A team
of horses. So a team of unicorn.
A team of
also,
unicorn.
the other question I have before Nate answers: do these just are they one and done? Like the Kiko spirit, right? They managed to put it in the frog, so that means they could never use Kiko again, or
just like one of those ancient gods, just kind of like.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Is there like an infinite supply of monsters, or do they regen?
I would assume it's an infinite supply of monsters. I mean, there's more than one werewolf. I mean, Kiko is just that specific Japanese demon. Maybe they use a different Japanese demon for a different scenario. Maybe Kiko is just creepier for the little group of school children. Which Japan went.
Yeah, what the hell?
You only need 5 unless you're Japan, in which we need a whole school of children.
Are they hedging their bets?
We're already getting ahead of it. So, okay, so you're still sticking with unicorn.
Yeah.
Okay, Nate, who are you?
I guess I just don't know what some of these people do. Like anything that's like really fast and like an animal is out for me. Like that, like that dragon bat. Fuck that. There's no
by land and by air.
Nothing like that. I mean, I almost would go merman. Now that I'm thinking, it's like
he moved pretty slow.
It's like Aquaman. You know, it's like you're out of the water, you suck.
Like he was really creepy, but he moved really slow.
Don't go in water.
Don't go in the lake.
Can a merman climb trees? I would assume not.
It's just like Jason. Just don't go in the water. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, can flippers open doors too? I'm trying to think of the same criteria as the unicorn.
But was he really a merman?
It's like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, he was just
which is a merman.
thing.
This is where they got the shape of water from.
Right?
And the same guy's in it. That the Richard Spencer guy.
Which one's he?
He's there's the two guys who are running it.
He's the other one?
He's the other one, yeah.
Oh, I didn't
he's
know
in
he
Shape
was
of
in Shape
Water.
of Water.
Yeah. So this guy's got Merman. He's in all the
Right?
Merman movies. So I'm gonna go Merman. He moves so slowly on the ground. I can't imagine you couldn't escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mitch?
Not say Merman isn't awesome, because Merman is awesome.
Merman's awesome.
But not on land.
Truthfully, I feel like zombies would be the easier to survive. Admittedly, there's a lot.
So plain
of them.
zombies and not zombie,
not zombie
whatever.
redneck torture family, aka the Buckners.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, you know the rules. You know what you got to do. You've got weapons. They're not overly intelligent like the Buckners are.
But how many is because you're trapped in an area eventually.
There's 5 of us. Granted, now we're gonna get into the poor decision making. If poor decision making is not being influenced, right?
Well, it is, because that's the whole.
I know it is. I know it. I'm just saying.
Unless you smoke good weed, in which case then it's not.
Or would you be going to a cabin with bad weed or no weed?
That's true.
You got the guy with the collapsible bong. I think you're going to be okay.
Oh my god, I'm going into this hard.
Oh yeah, God, I think zombies is a little bit easier, and there can't be an infinite number.
How many is too many?
20. I feel like if with 5 people in the room with you, I would feel like everyone should be able to take out 10 on their own.
Who you with?
That's aggressive. Amount.
Yeah.
In a post-Walking Dead zombie.
You need the equipment though. If you don't got the right tools there to take them out.
Stab him with everything in that cellar.
There was why didn't they go back and use the shit in there? There's so much stuff down there.
I was wondering if you read from the book, right? Mm-hmm. And then you also blow the conch shell. Do you get combo? Do you get zombie redneck family and merman coming after you, or is it just a one and done?
I think it's everyone you pick. I think
if it's a one and done, then you can.
I think it's whatever's first.
Okay, yeah, then you can just keep using stuff from the.
Yeah, why not?
There's a lot of scary shit in there. So.
Yeah.
So, secondary debate question. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, it's a quick one. There's 5 personas in this. Mm-hmm. So, which are you guys? I have no choice because I'm pregnant, so that eliminates one choice for me.
Well, no, the virgin doesn't have to be a virgin. The virgin
That's true.
Yeah, you gotta work. We gotta
work with what we got. Okay, so then maybe I am the virgin,
which made no sense, but sure.
So which one would I be?
So what's left? You got the scholar, the athlete, and the fool.
So if this takes place in college, mm-hmm. then I need to be the scholar or the athlete then.
Oh yeah?
You think that's what you would be?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh man.
You wanna
Sure.
Sure?
Sure.
Yeah.
Mitchell?
Well, sure, we're just gonna pull whatever the shit we want. Yeah, the athlete.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sports.
Honestly, in this particular scenario, I feel like I would have been the fool.
Really?
The fool.
Really?
More the party.
More the party guy? You going to the weekend late to have fun?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because the athlete guy,
the athlete was a sociology major, which was awesome.
Well, again,
yes,
but they're doing things to push them into those stereotypes. So I'm talking about if you're purely just that stereotype, not
okay.
This is which stereotype would I be if I were in this? And I don't think they would have pinned me for the athlete, potentially scholar, but I would assume the fool.
Okay, interesting.
Cool. I'd be like the fat dude in Freddy versus Jason, where he gets all pissed off because Jason slices his friend in half, and then he throws his beer on him, and then runs away. that feels like my reaction.
Hey, in this movie, the fool does fairly well. So yeah. I mean, I guess I didn't think about it that way.
The athlete or the scholar, Nate.
Mm-hmm. I would probably go the scholar. I would probably go the scholar. It'd be the scholar probably. But I'm saying if it was in college, I was like doing a bunch of sports and stuff. So that's why I caveated that. But if not now though.
Captain of the football team over here.
Captain of the basketball team. Thank you very much.
Really?
Yeah, in high school. Yeah.
What was
we just keep going
in high
back
school.
in time.
Oh.
We keep going back in time.
I was captain
Well,
of
if
my.
you go to middle school.
I was captain of my intramural team as well in college. There you go.
I was about to
Does that
say,
count?
you wouldn't be sitting here
Yeah.
doing this podcast if you were a captain of Purdy's basketball team.
Yeah, I'd probably be doing something with my like organizational leadership major. Yeah, I'd be doing real great.
Yeah.
I know phys ed. Got it. Yes.
What's this is getting all
Anyway.
Yeah. So let's get into this movie because we clearly are chomping at the bit to talk about how.
If I could pick what role I would be the Hadley guy. Like that would be me.
Oh yeah. Who
I would be that guy.
That's a better question.
That's me.
What department would you want to work in?
Yeah, I'd be Hadley.
So you'd be more.
I'd be setting up the situations. Oh yeah, that'd be great.
You'd be more programming.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Lisa, what about you? I feel like you'd be engineering.
Yeah, I'd be engineering.
You're engineering.
Yeah.
Man, I feel I don't know. The chem folks would have been interesting. I think the science side. Yeah, I don't know that I want to be in zoology. That seems like it'd be a terrifying / danger.
There was also security. There was maintenance. There was you could be an intern.
But then you don't get paid for overtime.
Then you don't get paid for overtime.
No, they don't. And he's stuck in that one room holding the signs. Help me, I'm the intern. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the programming is where it's at, but yeah, we'll discuss some of that in a second. In fact, I'm ready to talk about that. Are y'all ready to talk about
Let's get into it.
Lisa?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This week's movie of the week is Cabin in the Woods.
Really?
We gotta get out of here.
Somebody sent those things here to get us.
You're missing the point. They want to see us punished.
I think I can get it to go down.
Do we want to go down?
All right. So, Lisa, if you had to describe this movie, explain what this movie is about to someone, how would you describe it?
Yeah.
This movie is about 5 dummies that decide they want to go to a remote cabin in the woods. We'll get into my favorite vacation spots later. This is not it. And find themselves puppets in an otherwise potentially world-ending scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's it.
Nate, what facts do you have for us?
Sure. So Cabin in the Woods came out in 2012, but it was filmed in 2009. There's about a 3-year gap from when it came out.
Why did it take so long?
Because MGM went bankrupt, if you guys remember that.
Oh, no.
So this movie was delayed, but it worked out because they have like the dailies, right? So like they show the studio like, hey, here's what we're filming. And then that got Chris Helmsworth the role in Red Dawn, which is also a MGM movie that was delayed 3 years.
Oh my god!
Which came out in 2012 and filmed in 2009. And then based on those, he got Thor. So it worked out. It worked out for him.
So thanks, Cabin in the Woods.
Yep, exactly. So this movie's 95 minutes and it's a 7 on IMDb, which is pretty high for a horror movie.
I'm surprised it's that low. To be honest with you, what's it on Rotten?
I didn't check that. I'm just Rotten is worthless now. To be honest,
Wait, why is Ryan?
it's like half the time it's like Rotten Tomatoes on the Suckling doesn't exist. Like who cares anymore? The tagline for this movie is
heaven forbid they didn't put the suckling.
yeah. The tagline for this is if you hear a strange sound outside, have sex. Pretty good tagline.
All right.
It was 92% on.
Yeah,
Rotten
it's pretty
Tomatoes.
nice.
Yeah.
The director is Drew Goddard, and this was his first movie directed. But he wrote extensively. He wrote on Buffy, Angel, Alias, Lost, and he wrote the Cloverfield movie, the first one.
Oh wow.
and then he created Daredevil. And then working on some of those things, he met Joss Whedon, who they co-wrote the movie together.
Nice.
And then so originally Joss Whedon was going to direct, and then he's like, "Nah, I'll let my buddy Drew direct it." So that was his
Josh
first
was
movie.
going to direct,
Initially, yes.
but he stayed on as like a producer.
Yep.
Whatever.
Exactly. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So the one of the main actors is obviously Chris Hemsworth.
Who's that now?
Chris Hemsworth.
Who?
Not Liam Hemsworth or there's like 1,000 Hemsworths, right? Like
Chris who?
They basically run Australia. Chris Hemsworth and Hugh Jackman, they run Australia.
Pretty much.
All right. So he's Kurt in this movie. He's been in all the Thor. I just put Thors. He's been in the Thors. He was in Ghostbusters as the Mimbo in Ghostbusters.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And his first breakout role was actually in the Star Trek reboot in 2009. So he was in that. That came out. And then
Wait, what?
The Star Trek reboot.
He was?
Yeah, he was.
Why
in
don't
it.
I remember?
It was like a huge role, but that was like his first Hollywood role,
Okay.
and then these movies came along.
Okay, so that came out before, even though it was filmed after, it came out before this, right?
No. So this is from 2009. Thor came out in 2011. It was
No, I
filmed
know.
after.
But
Yeah.
when did you say Cabin in the Woods got released?
2012.
And when was Star Trek?
2009. So that was earlier. Yeah, that was his first Hollywood.
So they were like, he filmed that one and then Cabin in the Woods like almost back to back.
and Red Dawn. Yeah.
But then those got delayed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. The main actress in this movie is Dana. It was played by Kristen Connolly. She was in House of Cards. She was in the horror movie The Bay the same year. Came out 2012.
Like BAE?
Yeah.
Like Bay?
The Bay. The Bay. The BAE. Yes. She was in 39 episodes of As the World Turns and 16 episodes of Guiding Light. So she did a little bit of soap work.
Right.
And she was in Mitch's favorite horror movie of all time. She was Woman Reading on Bench in The Happening. So she has huge bona fides in the horror genre.
Big role.
I mean, if you've been on The Happening, you're a big star. Clearly.
Exactly. One of my personal favorite actors ever, Bradley Whitford, played the character of Hadley. He is in future episode Get Out. He was in The Post, West Wing, Good Guys, the TV show, which is highly underrated and very good. Billy Madison, one Tales from the Dark Side episode for Mitch. I dragged that one out.
Excellent.
He's going to be in the 2019 Godzilla King of Monsters movie. And his first ever movie was a horror movie called The Doorman, in which a bunch of people die in an apartment building from a doorman.
Sure.
So there you go.
because he fell asleep on the job?
Probably. This movie was written, I'm just going to disregard that. This movie was written in 3 days. And like I said, it was delayed because of the bankruptcy.
It was written in 3 days?
Yeah, written
That's
in 3 days.
impressive.
Yeah, it's actually very impressive.
Wow.
Mitch will love this.
So is Thanksgiving.
Same quality. Same quality. So Heather Langenkamp worked on the makeup for this movie, which Mitch will know as Nancy from the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And her husband, who's in the visual effects, worked on this movie as well. So they co-worked on this movie, which is cute.
The couple that works on horror movies together stays together.
Exactly.
That's right.
And then one of the last things I wanted to talk about here was there was just a really funny Q&A where someone asked Drew Goddard, so have you thought about making a sequel? And Drew Goddard said, have you seen the ending to my movie? So I can safely assume there will never be a sequel to this movie.
I thought there was. Yeah, it was Attack on Titan.
Oh my God. Wow.
Would you explain why Japan's one of the places
Japan.
they
Exactly.
still have,
Wow.
survivors?
Yeah, and that's it.
Well done.
So, yeah.
Just quickly, when I went to Rotten Tomatoes to look up the score, they had some of the old trailers from, I guess, when they were initially going to release it. So there's that tagline. There's a tagline of, if an old man warns you not to go there, make fun of him.
So I like the have
As
sex
well
one
as
better.
if something is chasing you, split up.
That one's all right. That one's
But
the have sex one I think is the best.
when I'll tell you the cover art for this movie when it got repackaged is significantly better.
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't think it would have stood out as much.
Yeah, I from when I read it, it sounded like the studio saw it and then like had to reconvince, Whedon and Drew Goddard that it was a good movie. Like they were just like they filmed it and then all this crap was happening. They were probably just like, probably never going to come out, so whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no. We like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. So what other stuff have they made that they think is bad that's great and it hasn't gotten released?
Well, I wonder what Whedon thinks about
how many Jack Frost sequels never saw the light of day because someone didn't believe in them.
Well, you wonder because when did Firefly get canceled?
2000 something.
I mean, probably relatively around this time. That's gotta be kind
2000 something.
Kicking the junk.
Well, Castle went for like 38 seasons, so just whatever Castle was like -2, and then that's what you got.
Oh man! All right, so overall, this movie's incredible. I love the premise, and I will say, watching it. So when we did watch it again, this is my second time watching it through. Even more enjoyable.
Yeah. This movie is like the more modern Scream. Yeah, it's meta. It's about itself. I would say it's probably not as scary as Scream.
It had moments, though.
There were moments, but I would say it wasn't like, I don't know, like there wasn't a lot of
not as gruesome,
tensiony scares.
Well, I think there's a lot more on the nose comedy in this one.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, I still enjoyed it thoroughly. Yeah. So it was a good movie.
Yeah, I would still. I mean, hell, the scariest jump scare in the whole thing is the opening title scene. When they're just driving around in the facility talking. They read that they said that they wanted the opening to make people think that they walked into the wrong movie.
Oh, nice.
Nailed it. It's like, oh, did I walk into like some like corporate like
right? They see Bradley Whitford, they're like, wait a minute, is this West Wing the movie?
This is like where did his character go after working in Washington? Like he went to go work for some company, and that's what this movie is.
Yeah. So there's two threads in this movie, and they're connected, but I kind of want to talk about both separately for as much as we can. There are the 5 kids of the cabin, and then there's the corporate side.
The sacrifices.
Yeah, the sacrifices, and then the corporate. I mean, I don't know if we ever get a name for them. They're just there's just the
Cthulhu Enterprises.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Might as well be.
Yeah, pretty much ancient ones, very Lovecraftian.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's start with the 5. So what I love about this movie is how we have the stereotypes. I mean, it's perfectly played like every other horror movie.
Yeah, it's jocks.
They hit the cliches.
Stoners.
But I love how they try to address how they're forced into those cliches and the bad decisions.
Yes, it doesn't really happen like that. Yeah. That was nice.
That all of them are, the blonde girl is... She's just recently dyed her hair, but she's pre-med. Yeah. And that they are making her dumb through the dye.
Thor is a jock, but he's also a sociology major.
And knows all about all these different books and quote, all that. They're none of them are they are and they aren't at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. They're more multidimensional than 99.9% of all horror characters.
Now, this movie in general, it's very Evil Dead-esque.
Yes.
I mean, to the point that I even wonder if the cabin is the same one that they filmed the remake in.
Oh, I don't know. Good question.
It looks very similar, even where like the trap door is, for the cellar.
Yeah.
Could be.
I
don't know. I didn't know if you had seen that in your research.
I was just really excited that they kept calling it for you guys. I knew I was never going to hear the end of it, but they didn't call it a basement. They called it a cellar. I was
it's the same friggin' thing.
They called it a cellar, and that is crucial to me. So I just wanted to let everyone know it's not none of these things are happening in basements. So basements remain in high standing.
Real high standing. Only a few people have died in basements.
The percentage keeps going down.
Yeah, no one dies in the attic. They just get brought up there. FYI.
It's a storage unit.
Yeah. People go into the basement / cellar to die.
We're running out of room down here. Put them in the attic.
Yeah. Only one person I'm aware of, and that's the house mother in Black
Christmas.
All right. So let me ask. Let's talk about these 5. So, what were some of your favorite scenes? Either be it they be death scenes or whatever with these kids.
I think we can all safely say Marty is by far the best character in this movie.
Yeah.
The stoner conspiracy theory dude, right? He's basically like almost Tom Green from Road Trip. Like a more
less annoying, yeah.
a more competent Tom Green.
Yeah.
The best thing he ever did was he showed up. He was smoking a bong that turns into a coffee mug,
That was fantastic.
which was real and functional, and was made for $5,000.
Seriously?
One of the things that I thought was hilarious was that Marty guy. They sent him to like experts to learn. He had like a 2-hour session on how to roll a joint, and then he
Did he screw it up?
2-hour sessions, and he did it in the movie. So clearly he was crushing it.
Oh wow!
They sent him to experts on
All right.
how to smoke weed.
That's critical.
I don't
to
know
the
what
movie.
these experts were, but they trained this guy up.
It was Snoop
He
Dogg.
he was method acting with Snoop Dogg, probably,
And Method
or
Man.
Willie Nelson, whoever's
Method
available.
Man.
Yeah, sure.
So we were reading that the reason he didn't jump in the lake is because the actor himself is actually really buff
Yeah,
in real life, and they were like,
more buff than Chris Hemsworth.
yeah, they're like, he's not going to look like a fool.
yeah.
Oh. Although I know they were trying to kind of subvert stereotypes. That might have played well as well.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
weren't.
But I get it.
That's an internet ad. Like, smoke weed, get ripped. Like that. That's an ad somewhere.
What was there a death scene that you particularly enjoy? Like when these kids start dying?
Okay, for just the kid side. Just
the kid side. Yeah, we're not talking. We'll get to
Yeah, sure.
mayhem later.
I thought that the bear trap on the chain was a brutal weapon.
Oh yeah,
That is like one of the coolest weapons I've ever seen.
yeah.
in a horror movie.
Scorpion from Mortal Kombat over here. Yeah,
Plus a bear trap. So I mean, when the first girl got bear trapped and then drug back, and then her throat slashed by a rusty saw, whatever.
Yeah.
But like the bear trap part was brutal, and then the other guy got lifted up by it, the scholar guy.
Oh yeah,
That was awesome. So anything having to do with that weapon I'm all in on.
yeah. What about you, Lisa?
I was sad to see him go, but Chris Hemsworth triumphant and jump just to smash into the invisible wall and fall.
He
That was crazy.
did a Samuel L. Jackson from Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote that Thor fell into the dark world on that one.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not doing it. Jeez.
He did.
So,
He fell a long way.
yeah.
I'm already using that new job too much.
Yeah, worth it.
Worth it. Yeah, the Chris Hemsworth scene is great. Yeah, no, I mean, I all the deaths for the most part were pretty straightforward.
The
But yeah, I
scholars
agree.
was not really earned very much. He just got stabbed from behind while driving a van. I mean, that was
Yeah.
kind of lame.
The one I did like, and it's not a death because she didn't die, was when they think that the last girl's gonna die, and they're just having the party, and you can just see on the screen in the background just that guy just like throwing her all over the deck.
REO Speedwagon's roll with the changes in the background. One of the greatest like scenes in the movie by far.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
So did they explain how Marty survived his run-in with
I guess he just
Jedediah or whoever the hell it
didn't
was?
Jedediah.
Didn't get hit as bad as we thought he did.
I mean,
maybe the weed he dulled the pain and he was able to.
I don't know. They didn't really
to
kind of.
get
He just
away.
kind of just shows up later.
Yeah. Off the grid, bro.
Well, he was the one that you did. Did we actually see him die?
We just saw blood shoot up.
And y'all know if you don't see a body, you can't assume.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean,
I was hoping Chris was coming back, but then I was like, I don't think he'd survive.
No, they
that
showed
fall.
He
that
fell
body.
into like a 1,000,000-foot chasm.
Hey, he's the athlete. He'll climb out.
One scene I did enjoy, and this will tie to the company or corporation. Mordecai, the gas station owner,
the Harbinger.
The Harbinger, yeah. I mean, just great. That whole
Nobody
scene,
likes being on speakerphone.
no one likes. So he gets
Yeah.
put on speakerphone, and he's very serious. And while he's talking about the kids not heeding their warning, the corporation is not heeding his warning as well.
Yeah.
Although he gets very upset that he's on speakerphone.
That's his
halfway
job.
through.
The Harbinger. He warns everyone about everything.
Yeah.
I said that this guy's legendary spit takes. like I've never seen so much like fluid come from a person's mouth in my entire life.
Yeah. You know damn well which war.
You guys have seen South Park, right?
Yeah.
You know the Aspen episode where they go skiing? It's like the race, like the 80s. It's like a spoof on an 80s movie where they like ski against like the rich people to make sure like the community center stays open. In that episode, there's like an old guy who's like, "Oh yeah, a lot of history on that ski run."
Oh yeah,
I
know.
Yeah. This guy was that guy. Literally the same person, which was great.
I guess the only other thing I want to ask before we move to the corporation is the cabin itself.
Yeah.
How did you appreciate the decor? Did you anything stick out about it?
Sufficiently creepy.
That painting is terrible.
The painting is,
the painting was like it comes at night level-esque painting.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And then of course the wolf head getting some action.
Well, yeah, I mean, what puts you in the mood? You see this painting with like 8 million animals getting slaughtered, and then like it could have been literally one of the animals getting slaughtered. It's like, yeah, let's get our tongue in this.
Yeah.
This wolf.
Yeah.
You know, they put powdered sugar on the wolf's tongue when she was
so
like,
that it wouldn't be so gross.
So it wouldn't be so gross.
Interesting.
Good for them.
Yeah, good
way to make it a
like she was using her tongue to like lift like the
the prosthetic tongue or whatever.
It was supposed to be the tongue. I mean, it's it's like the embalmed tongue.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
All right, move on.
All right, so let's talk about this corporation. So I think where the real genius of this movie really is more on this side of it. We're introduced to really a full working company. Led by a director with multiple different departments, and they're all working together
different countries.
And I wrote down so we at least know they exist in Stockholm, Sweden, Argentina, Madrid, Japan, and U.S.
Yeah,
and just at least one of them has to succeed.
Yeah, to give the sacrifice to the ancients.
So we have the 5 personas. But presumably they're not the same for every country, right?
Well, no, because Japan had like a whole
yeah.
Who was the slut of like the 9-year-olds?
Yeah, see, they must have different personas per country.
What?
I guess.
Oh, Jenny, she kissed a boy once. Boom, that's her. I don't think so, but why not?
Also, Japan really went above and beyond. Like 20-some kids is a lot to try to take on.
They're hedging their bets. They're like, we only need 5 of these kids.
Do they, or is it because they're kids? We need like more of them.
Well,
I don't know.
They're all virgins in that one. I mean, like the virgin character, like who's?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think the personas.
That part of the plot was a little no.
Yeah. So I wonder. Again, we didn't see enough. Like I tried to tell what happened in Stockholm and BA outside like King Kong.
Like the first kill in Sweden has to be a Sven. Okay, so we got a Sven. Now what do we like? Well,
I just wonder.
One guy has to be a fisherman. Then he has to do that.
And I just wonder if it's just more tied to the horror movie cliches there. But I don't know enough BA and Madrid horror movies. I mean Sweden's I guess a Yeti. Yes, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's the same collection. Oh, yeah, I guess is there different collections of monsters in different locations?
Yeah.
Seems like because they're right underneath,
probably.
right? So, so it seems like it.
Yeah. Any case, so you have all these departments, and I love that, again, they are, he mentions that they rig the game just as they have to, but there is still choice in it. They choose to ignore the painting and not just leave. They choose to
ignore the old man.
They choose to go into the cellar, and they choose which book or whatever.
This creepy thing to use, yeah.
Although they are releasing pheromones, they are releasing different toxins and stuff in the air to influence their decision.
To like numb their capabilities.
I did like how it was a big deal when they switched rooms, and they're like, oh, okay, we got to mark that down. They're in different rooms now.
Right. I feel like they needed more people in the control room than just the 2 guys.
Yeah, definitely. They need a more secure process for like releasing all of like. There was one like giant red like easy button from like what was that? What's the company has the
Staples?
Easy button? Staples. Yeah. It was like a Staples easy button, and then release all monsters ever.
Right.
Let's take a little bit more. Let's do like a nuclear launch. Like do some key turning or something. Get a little bit more security.
Although why is that the button? Like that?
Yeah.
What plan is the release all button? Who built that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who is that for?
Great question.
The purge button should have been like, cool, set all this shit on fire and drop it down into the core of the earth. done.
Yeah.
That's not just open the elevator doors.
The plot holes were pretty thick once they got.
They did it for the massacre. I mean, they did it for that.
Sure.
So let's.
But like, at least like take someone's like handprint, like someone's like arm got cut off, right? And then you put the hand on, and then you hit the button. You know,
well, that's
just
what I'm
give me a
saying.
little bit more.
This happens once a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of the year, why don't you run tests, upgrade your shit, like.
Yeah.
Make sure that maintenance or whoever it was that was supposed to demolish the bridge isn't going to have problems.
If shit ain't broken, no need to fix it. Right?
It was broken though.
Yeah, but once you're like one of the last things, then you like there should be extra scrutiny. There should like the auditors should be coming in making sure everything's legit.
Also, do they cancel America if someone else succeeds before us? They only need one country to succeed.
I mean, I guess the more they can satisfy it, the better.
Oh,
yeah. Did you know that had like guys just like get any excuse to get a merman? Like I'm gonna let it run so I can see the merman.
So before we get into the best scene in the whole movie, the money scene in this movie.
Sure.
Any of the interactions up until then that y'all enjoyed with the company and the interaction with the
well, I mean the betting was awesome. So
the betting
all
scene?
the people in the company are betting on. Because there's dozens of items in the cellar, right, that they could choose from. All the different monsters that you listed, Mitch, are in play, right?
Oh yeah.
And so, they're all betting on which it'll be, and of course, the maintenance team and the intern, the one intern guy, win because they picked the zombie redneck hillbilly torture family.
Yeah.
And then it was hilarious because at one point the guy touched the conch shell, which would have been the merman. And that had like Bradley Whitford was so excited. He's like he had the conch shell in his hand. And then at one point he gets made fun of for being called Aquaman, which was pretty great.
Yeah.
I did like when the first time she brings up that they put the dye in the hair to make her dumber. Mm-hmm. And she's like, score one for the chemistry department.
Yeah.
I particularly enjoyed the one of the guys when Japan had failed. And you see them all doing the ceremony, and they're all jumping and screaming. Guys on the screen going, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you!" Like going down the list of these kids just saying "fuck you." I don't know why the image of it just cracked me up.
He said "fuck you," and then he said, "Morons singing what a friend we have in Shinto." That was awesome.
Everyone
offensive
knows
and hilarious.
Everyone knows you can't trust Swedes.
Everyone knows you can't. There's two things I hate: intolerance and the Dutch. Like it was that level.
Yeah.
It was really good.
The pro American vibe in this was great.
Yeah.
So let's talk about. Let's just get to the final scene. So while they're celebrating, which the celebration party is great. The intern is great.
Roll with the changes, and then she's just getting like slaughtered.
Yeah, and they mentioned that as long as it doesn't matter, whatever happens to the virgin's fine, but she has to be the last one left, and then whatever. But she's not. Yeah. Somehow,
Marty's alive.
Marty survives.
He's hacking the system,
and he's figured out how to break in. And they unleash all sorts of hell. Let's talk about this scene. What did Lisa? What did you think watching this scene?
To me, this is the creepiest scene in the entire movie because I got used to seeing the zombie terror family, but then they like have a ridiculous amount of creepy monsters. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a fan of this scene.
Oh, really?
Well, I'll take it back. I'm not a fan of when they're in the elevator and they're like slowly seeing them one by one.
Right.
That's really
that
creepy.
Seemed excessive.
That's really creepy. Yeah. Now, when they all get let go and everything just turns to shit, that was. They had fun with that.
Oh no, I like the scene where you see them kind of one by one.
I do.
It lets you appreciate some of the more unique creations.
Of course, y'all do, but it's creepy.
Yeah, a lot of
you're speaking for people who hate this type of movie.
But what I really was interested to see not happen was none of the monsters fought each other. Which I thought was a real missed opportunity. Like, wouldn't that be awesome if like you have a fucking like killer robot fighting like a giant cobra?
True, but
that would have been fucking awesome.
Why would
they? Why not? I mean, cobras, I'm assuming, just want to kill people. I mean, what's the werewolves are like, ooh, yeah, I don't want to kill that unicorn. I want to kill like the guy behind the unicorn. Like, I think a werewolf's just going to start murdering everything, right?
Unless all these monsters are like programmed
They're
to like
from the ancient ones, and they are like, oh, we're on a team, a team of werewolves, if you will.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I don't know where. Yeah, they don't really kind of talk about what the monsters are from. Just that.
Yeah,
they've.
I'm saying I would have loved to have seen.
Well, they said this from the olden days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
I'm just saying, a werewolf versus like a creepy mask family.
Oh,
seems like a pretty good lineup for setup for me.
I disagree.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah, you see a lot of different deaths, a lot of stuff from all sorts of horror movies. I mean, if you are a horror movie fan,
so many callbacks.
You can, you could watch that scene multiple times. I still don't think you'll catch every reference.
I was really disappointed in the clown though, because it's a clear It reference, and he was not creepy.
Well, they had to change it a little bit.
He was less It. He was more John Wayne Gacy. He was very closer to the actual serial killer.
True.
Yeah.
And the clown from Billy Madison.
Also, Bradley Whitford movie. Oh my
God.
Bradley Whitford. There we go.
That may have been the reference. Like, hey, I remember this clown we filmed in for Billy Madison. It scared the shit out of me.
So one of the cool things was, at the very end, Sigourney Weaver is the director of this company, or at least this location, and she says, "Hey, Dana, virgin lady," and she goes, "Me, virgin?" And she's like, "Well, we work with what we have." So the most virgin, apparently. I think you can bend the rules a little bit.
Yeah.
She says, "Hey, shoot Marty the stoner dude, because then if you shoot him, the last person will be dead, and then we won't all die." And they basically go, "Yeah, let's just all die." Like, oh. So my question to you is, would you have shot Marty?
We're not to that segment yet. That's the segment.
Well, it's just a question. I mean,
no.
Oh, okay, sure.
You're jumping the gun, Nate.
Fine. How about this? Are you okay with the mission of this company? How about that?
I mean, they have no choice,
right?
They have a choice, but yeah, I mean,
I'm pro this company, like killing these people.
Yeah, it's not really. Yeah, you're
right. I mean, you don't really have a choice.
There's no real moral. There's really no moral piece of this, right? It's very, very blatantly one-sided in how they present it. Like, this is all going to happen. This is all for saving the world. Maybe we shouldn't have made as much of a game about it, but
yeah, I mean, and these ancient ones got itchy trigger finger.
Oh yeah,
but I think you
got till sunrise. We've been sleeping for thousands of years. No, you hit snooze on the alarm clock for like 1 minute, and we're busting out of the earth.
And considering all how much blood does this thing need? Because like you've killed enough people for one. Considering, look, I mean, in Japan, in BA, and all them, they all had deaths. Maybe not all of them.
Yeah,
Japan didn't.
Japan had zero fatalities.
Japan had zero.
Yeah.
Those little curls.
They said it.
Those little curls are fucking shit up.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know how you're not pro this company.
But I think you said, they make a game of it. I think they do that to cope with the fact that there are sacrificing these people.
Sure.
Because at one point, Bradley Whitford is like this close to sympathizing with the lost girl, and then the tequila comes.
Yeah, and that the story
tequila.
Tequila.
That's true. But anyway, so the end of the movie. So Sigourney Weaver was. The first choice was Jamie Lee Curtis to be the director.
Oh, that would... Yeah.
Which would have also been cool. Either way,
they're both
solid. And then, basically, they decide to kill her. And then the earth explodes, or the area explodes from a fist coming from deep within the earth. One of the ancient ones arising in a very Lovecraftian way.
Yeah.
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 That's one way to end the movie. Like,
that's a hell of a way to end the movie.
It's like an anime. It's like just some giant thing like punching through the earth.
And then enter Attack on Titan entrance song. Dun, 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 dun. All right. So I feel like I could talk about this movie for days. But I guess what I really, really want to get to, and I think what Lisa's waiting for, what would you do differently?
Son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why?
Lisa, what do you do differently?
All right, so getting back to Nate's question. Yeah, I'm gonna kill him. I'm sorry. If that means I gotta go too, I go too. It's not.
Okay, yeah, all right. We're on the same page. Take one for the team.
Yes, this is ridiculous.
But you don't even have to take one for the team. You just shoot somebody else.
That's fine. But she was never going to make it. Neither of them were ever going to make it out, regardless if those things existed.
Yeah, it was like we let the Earth die for like 3 extra minutes of living.
They were both
that was
mortally
worthless.
wounded. It was never going to happen.
And that, see, the thing I would have added to that as a caveat is that I would have patented the bong cup. I would have taken that, patented it, and then used that in memory of him to pay for all the therapy I would need later.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you do differently, Nate?
I would have washed the wolf head before making out with it. I mean, come on. Just like a little bit of water in like one paper towel. You know what I mean?
No.
Just a little bit. No. Speaking from personal experience. So just saying. I would do that.
I think I would have gone after a smaller class of Japanese students, like, you know, maybe like 5, 10 tops, not a whole like.
So not 9-year-olds. 9-year-olds are too good. You want hormones to start kicking in.
Yeah.
No, he's saying not as many.
No, just not as many, right? Like,
but so you would have went with the same age, I would have went with an older age. So like when you're a teenager, like you can get them to do all kinds of stupid shit.
They can't get their shit together?
Yeah, I just think Japan went for a much higher difficulty than they need to. I think there's a lot of unnecessary risk
they were showing
that
off.
all these people are taking.
Japan was showing off.
Why are we leaving the folks in the cabin with weapons and with a way to fight?
Well, because they said they had to give them a show. It couldn't just be like an outright slaughter.
They have to be tortured. It has to be like a
be able to fight back
like
a little bit.
Fight back, yeah, a little bit.
I mean, is there some bylaws of this? Like,
yeah, the rules are very sketchy in this.
Yeah, it's not very clear outside of just the order that needs to be maintained. Although I guess the argument is over time, the needs have changed, right? Instead of just like the old Aztec ripping the heart out of someone, now you have to do it like 5 times.
Yeah, and in order, like burn one person at the stake, one witch at the stake, done, and everything's covered. Yeah, this is, I don't know. It's like sacrificial inflation.
Yeah, Nate, right? Nate, what awards do you have?
I got it's my first day on the job award to the black security guy.
Yeah, what was his job?
He's just security dude. I don't know.
But security of what?
He didn't do shit. The only thing he did was blow himself up with a grenade to like let people live for like an extra 30 seconds.
Yep.
But it was his first day. It was like his literally first day, like doing shit.
Yeah.
Seems like I would maybe get someone a little more experience. It seems like a pretty important role to have, but whatever. And then I have the "What a Friend We Have in Shinto" award to the Japanese girls, because that's one of my favorite lines in a movie in a long time. No. So they work together. Japan for the win.
No. Yeah, I mean, I just have the MVM award, Most Valuable Monster, easily the Merman.
So they said that the Merman, they did like test screenings before. Merman scene, highest rated scene in the entire movie.
Well, and apparently they had so much extra blood, and that's what inspired them to do the big geyser at the end of it.
They said that the blood came out for like...
Use it or lose it?
The blood came out for like over a minute or something. And then they only used like the last like 5 seconds of it or something.
I just, because often in these movies, they talk about it and you're like, are we going to see it? Are we going to see it?
Yeah.
And it never delivers. This delivered.
The blood coming out the blowhole, eating the guy's face. I mean, amazing.
And his reaction, you're like, oh, come on. Like, no, that's not right.
He saw the merman. He saw the merman.
Yeah. MVM, Most Valuable Monster.
What about you, Lisa?
Lisa.
Worst 1 day on, 364 days off job ever.
Do you think they only work 1 day a year?
I think the controllers do. I think the rest of them are like the chemistry department and maintenance and all them are working. But I mean,
they've got to scope out.
Yeah, they're not going to pre-meetings. Like they're not.
Well, they've got to scope it. I mean, they've got to someone's scoping out what 5 kids.
This is like this Groundhog Day. Like they just like you knock on a door, you come in
their
1 day.
Their position is the one you aspire to get to because you only got to work that 1 day.
Okay.
Everyone else has got the grind the rest of the year.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. All right. That brings us to our last segment.
Final cut.
I'll jump out on front with this. I gave this 9 out of 10 Mermen.
Wow.
This may be. I've mentioned how I don't want to give 9s out very freely, but this movie's incredible. I love it. Plot holes and all sort of notwithstanding, it's enjoyable. If you are a horror, and I'm rating this from a horror movie fan perspective.
Sure.
If you
homages everywhere. Yes,
references everywhere. I mean, it is. If you are, this movie is for horror movie fans.
Yes,
truly
agreed.
I love it. I love how clever it is. It does have scares. It still delivers on gore and violence and all that stuff. It can still make you jump, but it's very smart, very clever, very witty, very much a Joss Whedon film. So especially if you're a horror movie geek, you will love all facets of this.
Yeah,
9 out of 10 for me.
That's really high. Wow.
Yeah, Nate, do you want to go?
Okay. So the Merman is like 2 points by itself, minimum. Bradley Whitford is like 2 points also. Some of the negatives, the plot really falls apart, which is fine. It's not like that big of a deal, but it's a slight negative for me. Debating giving it a 7 or an 8. What do you think, Lisa?
It's your rating.
I know. I'll give it an 8.
There you go. Attaboy.
It's so enjoyable. I think it might not have been scary enough. The plot goes -1, and then it wasn't that scary, so it goes to -1 for me. So I'll go 8 out of 10 blowhole burns.
It just depends on what you find scary. I mean, good horror movies don't necessarily have to scare you. Like,
yeah.
You know,
I agree.
I think they just need to stick with you, right? But,
yeah. It was entertaining. It's good. I like the movie. It's funny. Bradley Whitford's performance is absolutely hilarious the whole time. Good writing. It was a solid movie. I like it. It's really good.
All right, Lisa, as our unsuspecting victims, speaking on behalf of all those who hate horror films, where do you put this one?
As the virgin, what do you...
So,
as an 8-month pregnant virgin.
Hey, you got to work with what you got.
You got to work with. I love it.
So I feel like I have a very different perspective on it now than what I did before because I've watched so many of these movies with you guys. Yep. It's really well done. It's like you guys were saying. I mean, it's kind of like a scary movie, but serious and kind of like Scream. So it's really good. I think I'll give it 8 out of 10 tequila shots because I think it's one of those ones that and I mean, there's nitpicky things about it that I didn't like, but it's one of those ones that if you're trying to get someone to watch it who doesn't like horror movies, I still think they could handle it.
So, how scared were you during this movie?
It's not terribly scary. Like I said, the only thing that gets to me is some of those creatures at the end, and that's just because the special effects people or prop people, whoever did, just went crazy with their imaginations.
Yeah.
So there is some stuff in there that scares the hell out of me, but the rest of it, it's your typical, zombie, whatever they called, zombie
redneck torture family.
Yeah. So no, it's good.
Okay,
it's good. It's one of the ones I did not moan and groan over having to watch again. So that's good.
An anti-tourist trap, if you will.
Completely opposite.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. A very highly rated movie. So if you have not checked this one out, please do so.
Definitely check it out.
Even though we've gone through everything, I think you'll still
you'll still enjoy it.
Yeah, this is a movie that is good on repeat viewing for sure.
Absolutely. Nate, where can they find us?
So you can find us at our website at TexasPodcastMassacre.com. You can tweet us at TXPodMassacre. You can find us on Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, and all the other podcast platforms.
All right. Well, this will wrap it up for this week's episode. From all of us here at Texas Podcast Massacre, thank you so much for listening, and just keep telling yourself, it's only a movie. Good night.